Right. It's very important, I hear, that lots of moving about happens at the very start or you go away. So it's a bit like what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the editor to kind of move stuff around. You'll be feeling it now. We're not actually having an earthquake. It's not like, in Star Trek when people kind of throw themselves around and they're like, oh, you've been hit from the side, and they all go this way. Because, of course, the set wasn't moving, so they were demanding that they move. So we go, oh, you got hit from the side, oh, like that. So we're kind of doing that, but it's not really happening to us. It's just a way to keep the more stupid among you capable of still kind of taking it in and not clicking away, because I hear that's very important. If I sit still for too long, I get inundated with letters and emails about my prolific output. Sometimes it can feel like if I've read one, I've read them all. How do you do it? What is your secret? How can I be more like you are the kinds of questions I'm routinely asked, and the answers always disappoint. Massive talent. There is no secret beyond massive talent. You can't be like me. Occasionally, though, I get an email that makes me pause and contemplate. Margaret Pong writes, "None of your works seem family friendly. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you are anti-children from your remarks." A stinging broadside from a total stranger is not the way of the internet, Margaret. I will show you that I can write family-friendly scripts. You probably weren't paying attention, Margaret, when we ran the first part of The Warped and Winding World of Wendy Winchester, were you, Margaret? Well, here's another part for you. Take heed. Discuss the unfair criticism. So, Margaret Pong writes to me and she says what I said, which was like, I don't think you like children because you can't write family-friendly scripts. And do you know what I hate? I hate when people say, like Margaret Pong, they say, you can't do something. Because I think I can do something, and I think that I've proved I can do things over many of these months. Have you ever received unfair criticism?
Well, it's quite a specific question, but yeah, I mean, unfair criticism is kind of objective, really, isn't it? Because, she believes it to be fair, but you don't. But also, I think you've already written a very good family-friendly piece.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Margaret Pong, maybe she just missed that one.
Right. So that makes the criticism all the more unfair because she needs to watch every single thing that we put out before she can make that statement.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Realistically, I mean, if she's saying you don't do this thing, she needs to know everything that I do before she can say you don't do this thing. Oh, you've never scored a headed goal in the Premier League. That's fair because she could work night and day and she would never find that footage. Right. Why? Because it doesn't exist. I have never done that. But she's saying I can't write a particular type of script, having not watched everything. So, like her name, I would say that her opinion pongs. In this scene from family-friendly adventure series The Warped and Winding World of Wendy Winchester, our heroine is in a spot of bother, having been caught in the sticky web of the alien Darkroot, a slimy villain, if ever there was one. With trusty but hapless companion Simon entering the scene, the fun and adventure begins. Choose roles. Now, I'm going to sit this one out. I will just be the narrator because I've only come up with 3 roles. That's very fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's pretty fair.
Sure. Yeah, that's good.
So the actors can do the acting and the man can do the narrating man. So that's what I'll do. So we have Wendy. It's probably you. Right? Which leaves Simon, who's a bit of a put upon softy, really, isn't he? And Darkroot, the slimy villain. So he's like a spider.
Okay.
Like a snotty spider.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nasty.
really, if you imagine if you had one of them on your wall, so it leaves a trail like a snail, but it's also a spider.
Oh God.
Yeah.
And you pick it up, and it's like, oh, it's bad enough. Picking up spiders is not something many people like to do.
They're kind of unpredictable.
Yeah, and then how fast does it run? And you end up just going like that, and you go, well, at least it's dead now.
But this is quite a big spider, right? This is like
It's like a human-sized spider.
Yeah.
If not more. I mean, he could be. Oh, I decide at the end of the day. If we film it, we've probably got to be a bit careful. We could use CGI, but I'd say probably an 8-foot spider.
That's quite intimidating.
Yeah,
I'd be quite
big for a
nervous.
spider, yeah.
Slimy too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oozy.
Yeah.
So imagine this sticky web, and she's just in it. We're just entering there. It's like she'll have been walking along, and oh no, and now she's in the sticky web. We just start from the sticky web and the Oozy Dar crew. Oozy Dar crew, who wants it?
I love a big character. That's always fun.
He is big.
I've been typecast lately as predatory bad people, so why the hell not lean into that?
Yeah, he's definitely predatory bad.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he's big too. He's a big character.
Yeah.
And big in every way.
By the way, just so you know, I'm not a bad person. I'm an actor. This is just a character.
But you must be drawing from somewhere. So, I mean, there could be. Look, we've all got bad sides, but
Sure.
if you keep getting cast in predatory roles,
Yeah.
you do wonder, don't you? So you're going to be Simon.
Simon, that's
Simon.
me, yeah.
So he comes in towards the end, but he is hopeless. Although I will give him his due, and you'll see this in a minute. He's very good at throwing knives accurately.
Alright.
Yeah.
That's good.
And if I remember rightly, from the back catalogue, is Simon very much in love with Wendy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never works out, obviously, sadly.
No,
Yeah.
it couldn't, could it? He's definitely in the friend zone.
He's in the friend zone.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wendy just wouldn't get that, that kind of buzz, kind of
Satisfaction.
thrill, the
Yeah.
excitement from Simon. He'd probably make an excellent husband in many ways, and she'd be 50 and single, probably regretting maybe turning Simon down all those times.
Yeah,
But-
probably.
Hey, that's a lot of series in, and again, it doesn't really follow the adventure theme. Okay, so everybody knows who they are. I will start with my narration. Internal alien cave. He's an alien Oozy spider as well. That's,
Another twist.
so he doesn't
Explains the
necessarily.
slime.
Explains the slime.
Yeah, that's true actually, because they don't really. Earthbound slime isn't that good really. Internal alien cave, 6 p.m. Wendy Winchester is stuck fast to a sticky web of some kind, alien kind, like a fly in a spider's web. This is easy for people to imagine. She is trying to reach for her knife, but it is just out of reach.
Curses! If only I could reach my knife, I could get out of this sticky situation.
From the shadows, Darkroot slinks. He is much gratified by his caught prize. A slimy and gooey creature, he comes ever nearer to Wendy, oozing everywhere.
My, a human female, much prized and ever so tasty.
Yuck! What the hell are you?
I am Darkroot of Darkrootia. I am the master of slime, and you will be my dinner.
You're so ugly! Oh, disgusting! I'm Wendy Winchester, and I'll get out of this web in a jiffy.
Wendy Winchester. Are you the one who defeated the forest goblins recently?
The very same.
They were beheaded for the shame their failure brought. I ate their skulls! Crunchy but delicious. Thank you for that.
I didn't mean for them to be beheaded.
Your actions create more havoc than you imagine. Any good thing you might do is likely attached to a catastrophe. Anyway, I'm getting hungry, and so it is almost time to eat you all up. But first, look up.
Wendy does so and sees a large vat of slime above her, almost tipping over.
My goodness! What's that?
My own personal mixture to help me get to your bones more easily. High acidic content, it will melt the flesh from your skeleton and burn your eyes out of their sockets.
No!
It's just the most efficient way to kill you, that's all.
Suddenly, Simon makes his way into the cave.
Wendy, what is going on?
Simon, quickly! Get me my knife, quickly!
Who is this to disturb my dinner?
What's that?
Hurry, Simon, hurry!
I'm frightened, Wendy.
If you don't move it, we'll both die horrible deaths. Get on with it, you cretin!
Wendy's stiff rebuke snaps Simon out of his petrified state, and he tosses Wendy her knife. She begins to cut her way free.
It's too late, Wendy Winchester. Your life is over.
Darkroot is wrong. In the nick of time, Wendy cuts herself free just as the deluge of acidic slime drops and would have killed her.
No! How did you do that?
I'm better with a knife than you thought.
Careful, Wendy.
Darkroot attempts to splatter Wendy in his personal ooze, but she sidesteps in time and with an expert slash cuts his throat. A black slime pours from the wound and Darkroot thrashes around making gurgling noises for some time until finally he settles on the ground, dead, his body twitching as his nervous system shuts down and rigor-mortis sets in.
Oh God, I don't think I'll ever be able to forget that.
Yes, unpleasant. But at least we're alive. Come on, let's get out of here.
Oh.
Simon wails at the trauma he has witnessed as Wendy drags him away. Yeah. I mean, I really thought you inhabited the characters. Because we're not in a cave. Where there's no ooze. I love the rigor mortis. Really good because you listened to what I said and you actually did kind of freeze.
I was a little bit put off by Darkroot attempts to splatter Wendy with his personal ooze. That shocked me.
It's
Quite
he's
vivid.
a horrible character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
it's quite predatory.
Yeah.
Yeah, bit of a felt a bit honestly like creepy. Very. I'm like, I feel like a little bit like you can watch Alien and read a lot of like, very sexual content into Alien. And all the ooze in that. Just for a second there, I was just like, oh God, this is very graphic for a kids show.
Well, he's got ooze to spare, but yes, this is again. I think Margaret heavily proved wrong there because you think.
Is she?
I mean, imagine the joy from that scene if you watch that scene. I mean, it would just be like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, children
So-
love slime, don't they?
They
They
love
love it.
slime.
They
They
love
love
it.
ooze.
Like, they can't get enough.
I mean, just think
Ooze.
how vivid all of that was. I mean, you inhabited it immediately because it's so vividly written.
Yeah.
It's like you could really feel it, and it was so adventurous. I mean, I felt that anyway.
I think the kids will really like the burning of the eye sockets.
Yeah. And that doesn't have the important thing to say. I mean, you could put this on Saturday tea time, because there's just saying like this could happen, doesn't happen. Reminds me actually. I think maybe this inspired me when I was let's say 10 or 11 years old, and I was still in primary school. We had this teacher during the first Gulf War. And at that time, they believed that they didn't know. They were like, oh, maybe Saddam Hussein's got nuclear weapons. They kept telling us this. This is when we were at school. And one day we asked, well, what does that mean, miss? What does that mean, miss? And she said, basically, if Saddam Hussein decided to target our school, you would have 3 seconds to get out or you'll be burnt into the wall.
It's very specific.
It's not long.
Well, I was interested, 3 seconds to get out of where? Because the building, I don't think you're safe outside.
So it's not that specific.
3 seconds to get out, or you'll, these are her exact words, I remember them. This is, I think, an effect. I mean, that's kind of like a memory. It's kind of, these are the things. And I turned out great. You can tell children these things. 3 seconds to get out, or you'll be burned into the wall. So I was just imagining kind of a sequence of shadows. I don't think the wall would survive it.
At that rate,
Yeah,
no.
No, that's pretty, I think you're kind of at the epicenter.
She might mean like vicinity. 3
Yeah.
seconds to leave.
3 seconds to get out or you'll be burnt into the wall. So it's like, phew, I got out.
I think it would
Everyone
take you
else
3 seconds to work out what out was, because you might go in a
Yeah.
direction and you're just going further in
There's no sign going
into
like
the centre.
safety.
Also, when you hear a bang, it takes me more than 3 seconds to figure out what the bang was.
Yeah, it's not good.
I think by the time you've heard the bang, it's probably too late in that situation.
Yeah, I think I probably want to die quite quickly into the wall.
Yeah, I mean, it's quick.
But that's why things like Wendy Winchester is so vital for kids, because it helps them prepare for that kind of situation.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we're teaching them about nuclear war.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we had no choice. We had no choice when I was a boy. It was like, you have to know about, get under the table. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she didn't say that. If she'd said, "Oh, get under the table and you won't be burnt into the wall," because that as an instruction, you go, oh, I understand that we have tables, because that was the thing they always said, get under the table. The other thing I quite liked, without blowing my own trumpet, Darkroot has this quite cool line about halfway through. Your actions create more havoc than you imagine. Any good thing you might do is likely attached to catastrophe. Anyway, and then he gets on about how hungry he is. But these are the things I like to kind of drip feed in. Like there's a bit more going on than just, oh, I'd like to eat you. Okay, so he's going, good thing you might do is likely attached to catastrophe. Catastrophe is a strong word, and he's being a bit villainous there. But there's definitely something about, the old butterfly effect and things. You see, Wendy fought the forest goblins, and she defeated them. And she was like, oh, good, go away, forest goblins, and leave the people that you're harassing alone. That's another episode. The forest goblins, unbeknownst to her, go back to where they come from, and the forest goblin chief says, what are you doing back? You're meant to be terrorising these people. Oh no, this woman showed up and defeated us, and so they got beheaded. And then they were fed to Darkroot, the carcasses. Now, Wendy learns this, and she's kind of like, she didn't like the forest goblins, because as the name implies, not pleasant. But she's like, oh, I didn't expect that to happen. Well, no, you didn't. But you're just kind of merrily going along doing things that you think are good. And in reality, if she'd kind of walked on by, maybe nobody would have died. The villagers would have been a bit terrified for a bit. But, no beheadings and no Darkroot would have gone hungry. Perhaps he would have died sooner. No web. So that to me, these are little things that you can drop in there. Any good action that you take feels good in the moment, that you're doing it for yourself. Feels good in the moment, but what damage is it doing later on? These are the variables that humans don't understand. I don't think that we could improve on that. I have to say, of all the readings we've done in these many months, that one was the most instantly enjoyable. I think people were on top of their characters pretty much from the get-go. You've done Wendy before. I can't remember if she was American or you've made her American.
I don't think she was American last time, but it just felt right.
She felt more American.
Yeah.
Is that 'cause she's a bit more aggressive in this one, perhaps?
Perhaps was, yeah.
Yeah, because they can be aggressive.
That kind of American energy.
I'm going to kill you. She cuts his throat. Kind of, it's not red, so I think that's...
Yeah, I think you said it was...
It's a black...
Yeah, black blood.
Black slime. Again, it's just kind of made of slime, so it's not that graphic.
It made her a little bit obnoxious when she became American. I don't know if you felt that, just in the way that she kind of said things like, the very same. She was a bit precocious.
Yeah, she was certainly more aggressive with Simon, kind of less lovable. But I think I wanted to get the point across. This is a serious moment. This is genuine peril. Like she could die in a horrible way if he doesn't get his act together.
Yeah, I mean, I think she probably is more patient with Simon when it's not so much of a life and death situation.
Yeah, I think it was justified.
Yeah.
I did like your screams at the end. I thought, very believable. And I think he will, and that's something that you can kind of, his torture, mental torture, can be written into future episodes. I think very much.
PTSD for the kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think I could go bigger with dark root.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that like...
embody it more physically.
Is that a challenge?
No, not at all. Just saying, I think I could go bigger.
Yeah.
Like if you were on set dressed as a spider.
I mean, I could literally crawl out over the sofa if we wanted to go again.
Crawl over the sofa. This is something I want to see. I don't know if the mics will let you get louder though.
Okay.
But you can do more physically.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is mind the tea though.
Yeah, I'll mind the tea. Wouldn't want to spill your tea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow. So everybody has to. Well, I mean, it's the same for me. Everybody has to go somewhere though. So you.
I think I'm going to do less physically.
Yeah. Going to be like petrified.
Yeah, I'm just going to be
Petrified. What?
frozen.
What are you going to do?
I want to try and make Wendy a bit more likable because I think maybe I went too far with the aggressiveness
All right.
last time.
Okay. So you're going to be kind of.
I might stick with the American, I think, but just try and make her a bit.
Okay. Maybe when you call him a cretin, kind of in the next line, make it feel like I had to do that because I needed my knife. But
Yeah.
I don't really think you're a cretin. I know she doesn't say that, but you have to. So your next line after that is actually really important. Internal alien cave, 6 p.m. Wendy Winchester is stuck fast to a sticky web of some kind, like a fly in a spider's web. She is trying to reach for her knife, but it is just out of reach.
Curses! If only I could reach my knife, I could get out of this sticky situation.
From the shadows, Darkroot slinks. He is much gratified by his caught prize. A slimy and gooey creature, he comes ever nearer to Wendy, oozing everywhere.
My, tasty female. Much prized and ever so tasty.
Yuck! What the hell are you?
I am Darkroot of Darkrutia. I am the master of slime, and you will be my dinner.
You're so ugly! Ugh, disgusting! I'm Wendy Winchester, and I'll get out of this web in a jiffy.
Wendy Winchester. Are you the one who defeated the forest goblins recently?
The very same.
They were beheaded for that shame, and for the shame their failure brought. I ate their skulls. Crunchy, but delicious. Thank you for that.
I didn't mean for them to be beheaded.
Your actions create more havoc than you imagine. Any good thing you might do is always attached to catastrophe. Anyway, I am getting hungry, so it is almost time to eat you all up. But first, look up.
Wendy does so and sees a large vat of slime above her, almost tipping over.
My goodness! What's that?
It's my own personal mixture to help me keep your help me get to your bones more easily. Acidic content. It will melt the flesh from your very skeleton and burn your eyes out of their sockets.
No! That's awful!
It's the most efficient way to kill you. That's all.
Suddenly, Simon makes his way into the cave.
Wendy, what is going on?
Simon, quickly, get my knife! Quickly!
Who is this to disturb my dinner?
What's that?
Hurry, Simon, hurry!
I'm frightened, Wendy.
If you don't move it, we'll both die horrible deaths. Get on with it, you cretin!
Wendy's stiff rebuke snaps Simon out of his petrified state and he tosses Wendy her knife. She begins to cut her way free.
It's too late, Wendy Winchester. Your life is over.
Darkroot is wrong. In the nick of time, Wendy cuts herself free just as the deluge of acidic slime drops and would have killed her.
No! How did you do that?
I'm better with a knife than you thought.
Oh, God! Careful, Wendy!
Darkroot attempts to splatter Wendy in his personal ooze, but she sidesteps in time and with an expert slash cuts his throat. A black slime pours from the wound and Darkroot thrashes around, making gurgling noises for some time until finally he settles on the ground, dead. his body twitching as his nervous system shuts down and rigor mortis sets in.
God. Oh, God. I don't think I'll ever be able to forget that.
Yes, unpleasant. But at least we're alive. Come on, let's get out of here.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Simon wails at the trauma he has witnessed as Wendy drags him away. Do you know what? I don't think I'll ever be able to forget that. That was really
special.
something.
Yeah.
That was.
My favourite bit was when Simon forgot to speak, and then the spider just attacks him on the knee.
A knee assault. But look, careful, Wendy.
I got quite a bit. I got a little Gary Oldman vibe from you there. Like Gary Oldman as a spider slime.
Nice, I'll take
alien.
it.
Maybe he'll play the role. I mean,
Yeah.
in the show. I mean,
Can you imagine how expensive that would be, though?
to get Gary Oldman to play Darkroot.
Yeah.
I think money's really the problem though, because I think the quality of the script is such that probably Gary would do it for free.
Yeah, it's all in the script, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's likely.
it's nailed down, and he'd want, actors, they like to do kids stuff every now and again. They go, oh no, I've got a fun side too. And what could be more fun than that? I mean, you've proved it.
Yeah, it'd be really
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
It'd be really fun to play that role.
Yeah, so that's fantastic. Well, listen, Margaret Pong. I think your opinion has been thrown in the dirt and left in the dust. Okay, which I believe is just like dirt but drier. Yep, you're finished. You got no chance. So again, proof I can do kids stuff, and we'll probably prove it even further because I like to really kind of hammer home the point that anybody who attacks me in the wrong way is really wrong. If you enjoyed this escapade, because I won't call it a video, call it an escapade, because it was escapism. It's classic escapism. He almost escaped from behind the sofa. He died in the end, and it's terrible. But so if you enjoyed it, it is incumbent on me to demand that you like the video, because it's so important. Because if you didn't like it, and you don't press like, and you don't subscribe to a thing, you don't hit a bell, then it was all for nothing. Apparently that's what they say. That's what I'm being told by people I'm paying a lot of money to. So do that, enjoy, and bye. Wave at them.